I'm gonna bet rupees. Let's say 20? 50! How about that? And on the other side, a thing we already got. May well have been a secret seashell. Also, since we are literally like 4 screens away in the wrong direction. Well, yeah, actually. Now that we have the magic wand, we don't need Bow Wow anymore. And yeah, literally I do believe the only weapon these giant flowers are vulnerable to is the magic rod, so... yeah, no. You can deal with them with Bow Wow, and then not again until after literally the very last dungeon in the game. So that kinda sucks. But it's okay because, you know, you never really have to go through that swamp again. You can always just go around. I'll take one more dose. Okay, so, what do you guys think? One more run down the, river rapids? Or should we say, screw it, let's just go straight to the egg. Also, I like how the egg gets its own little image on the minimap. I'll start heading to town. Either way, we're gonna need to go back there, so... Alright. One more ride on the river rapids it is. Let's just see if Marin... Hey, Marin's back! What do you say? Not much of interest. Oh, and Tarin's just nowhere to be found. Awesome. And the others say the same old, same old. So, this book right here. Not that book right there. This book right here? Yeah, this book right here. This book is unreadable unless you happen to finish the trading game and get the magnifying glass. I'm just gonna make the save state way over there, even though that is an amazingly easy to remember order. I will get to the meaning of that in just a moment, and actually, what the heck is that? I don't remember that being a thing. Oh, okay. It's the thing that tells you how to get into the color dungeon, so... I was right, there is a thing that teaches you how to get in there. So that's cool. We'll just go ahead and make use of the warp. Get there a little bit faster. Along with some extra pointless jumps, because I keep hitting the wrong button. Really shouldn't have my buttons switched. That's not helping things in the slightest. Yeah, go ahead and switch on over to the hook shot. Hi, guy. Alright, so pretty much, you want to look at the map, and head over one more screen, and then go down here. There we go, now we have, every single one. Oh, that would have been nice. every last one of the pieces of the map, all of the tiles, have been walked into. Some probably only for mere moments, but hey, it all counts. Oh, that's going down. Whoopsie. A bit bothersome there, but that's okay. And those are on the top branch. Oh well. So we missed most of the rupees, but we made back more than we spent, so that's something nice. And may as well mambo our way on out of here. Moonwalk through the little pool, because why not? And we're not gonna have full health going in, but who cares? Because, like I said previously, the Windfish's Egg is not a dungeon. So, we go ahead and play the song one last time. And, oh, right, we immediately get Owl. Never know when you're gonna get owled suddenly. Oh, and, hey, you just hang out there and enjoy the music if we so desire. So, yeah. I will say that with all 8 instruments there, the Windfish's Ballad sounds pretty good to me. I don't know if it managed to actually, you know, break into actually really legitimately sounding good. I will leave that up to some of the folks in the chat who don't have major nostalgia goggles for the song, but I really like it. Mainly with all 8 of the instruments. So this is the Windfish's Egg. It's the Lost Woods. It's the Lost Woods with a combination that is twice as long. And so, if you desire, you could figure out the pathway by randomly wandering around and maybe getting lucky. Or you can just find the magnifying glass, get the code, maybe write it down if it's not stupidly easy like mine was. I think there are 3 codes total that it might be, but after that, it's straight into the final boss. And yeah, it's a 6-form final boss, so it is one heck of a final boss, but yeah, like, after Death Mountain and Ganon's Castle and whatever Thunderbird Palace or something like that, whatever the final area in Zelda 2 was. You know, Zelda games have big, giant areas where, you know, you encounter lots of the final bosses and, well, previous bosses and enemies, and use all your different items. And I guess that was Turtle Rock, but usually it's not the final dungeon, it's the final area. So, yeah. Nightmares! Let's fight some nightmares. So, each of the, well, not really each. I guess they are kind of unique ways, but each of the 6 bosses has a bit of a unique way of fighting it. And basically they are weak to like a thing, or maybe 2 things. The giant gel, you sprinkle magic powder on it. A whopping total of 3 times. So there's boss form 1, here comes boss form 2. Aghanim! Yes, again, this game was all about riding on the coattails of Link to the Past. Also, if you oh, I don't have it. If you still have the shovel here, if you haven't traded it for the boomerang, you can use the shovel to reflect back Aghanim's shots. This mirrors the fact that in Link to the Past, you could use the bug net to reflect Aghanim's shots back at him. So I totally should have jumped over that, but oh well. Alright, and... oh, that's... oh, derp. Moldorm. Just flat out attack. Takes a lot more hits than the first Moldorm we faced, but, you know, not incredibly many, plus level 2 sword, plus red clothes, plus Ganon. So I don't think I actually need... no, well, I do. I do actually need to do that. So yeah, I guess, yeah, I guess technically each and every boss does have its own different weakness. Also, I'm fully aware of that, Snapped, and I'm kinda sad that you thought I wouldn't be aware of that. I was going to get to that when we got to the final form. Now is the one I was expecting for the last 2, the Land Mola. 1 hit with the magic rod, and that's done. Final form. This is a creature called Deathl. D-E-T-H-L. I don't know what that's supposed to mean. I don't know if that's a word, or... I mean, it's got death in there, sort of. And it takes 20 hits to kill with the arrows, or 1 hit to kill with the boomerang, but you have to be on the exact right pixel. It's actually almost as hard to kill it with the boomerang, but yeah, bam, done. And yeah, that was the thing that Snapped informed me of, was the boomerang thing, which, you know, strategy guide I had as a kid, so I knew all the things. And kinda sad that some of those things were removed from Game Boy to Game Boy Color, but, oh well. You know, it might be Death Eye. Let me double check the spelling. Well, best way I could think of to check the spelling is at the Zelda wiki. Let's go. Oh hey, how about that? It is Death-Eye! I never even considered that! I'll be damned. Hey! I learned something today! Thank you! So yeah, that makes a whole crap ton more sense. So we defeat Death-Eye, and we get to go wake up the windfish. Hi, Owl. I had forgotten in all this time that we had entered the name as Fern Space. But at least we're not a thief. Like I said, if you steal even one item, even if you don't go back in the shop and get zapped, you are forevermore called Thief in all capital letters. Even by the owl here, he would call you Thief the Hero. We proved all those things, but the Triforces aren't actually in this game. They are not anywhere remotely near this game, and that was the first time any of the three were even mentioned to my recollection. So, you know, nice way to toss that in there at the very end. I like to think of it as a fern with an extra pause at the end. I don't know exactly how that sounds verbally spoken, but... oh god, with an extra pause with the ellipsis. This is making me laugh way more than it should. Goodbye. And there she is, or he is, or it is the windfish. I actually legitimately have a windfish papercraft model. It's kind of a crappy model, but, you know, it's not overly elaborate, but it definitely is the windfish. And I don't know why he speaks all ye olde English. I guess they're trying to say that this windfish is a super ancient creature, and when it was awake and learned English, it was ye olde times? But anyways, yeah, now we go about basically murdering every single person on this island. They will live on only in memories. Whatever existence they were aware of as individual selves will now cease to be. Which, there are a number of creatures, and obviously all the individuals that live in this world that are unique to this world. Like, obviously there's the Octoroks and the Moblins, who cares? There's millions of them out there in Hyrule throughout the millennia. But there are plenty of other creatures that only exist here on Koholint Island, so we are now committing genocide! Oh, right. We play the song one more time, because why not? Oh, Arklon in the chat makes an incredibly good point. Mario 2 saved Subcon, the Mario Dream World, Link saved Koholint, the Hyrule Dream World. We need a Samus Aran Dream World. We need a Donkey Kong Dream World. We need a Kirby Dream World. Well, god damn it. Kirby lives in Dream World. It's literally Kirby's dream land. Wow! Pulled the fast one on us there, Nintendo. So, we wake up. We're staring into the sun because that's what... Okay, not actually staring into the sun. Hey, it was all just a dream! Boo! Yeah, now you can't really do that because it's not a surprise! That is how you get away with the "it's all just a dream" ending. You make it very obvious throughout the entire thing that, yeah, this is all just a dream. You don't say it at the last second like a final prank. You just, you make it be the entire focus. Yeah, Link is probably kind of screwed. I mean, he has no food there, he has no clean water. This is goddamn Hyrule, so we know there are sharks in the water, and Zoras. This is before the time of when the Zoras evolved into a friendly race. So that is not supposed to be doing that, good lord. Seizure credits. Okay, so we're getting that, and I'm not speeding through it because I love this song. So I'm gonna shut up now. Oh, Beld in the chat says, the Samus Aran Dream World was other M. Oh, we can only hope and pray that someday they come forward and say that. Also, there is one final thing. If you did manage to get through the game with 0 deaths, you get a special bonus thing. It's not very much of a thing, but it is a thing. So the end decided to show up clearly and solidly. So that's not quite the same thing. That's very interesting. In the original Game Boy version, if you made it through with 0 deaths, on the final The End screen, a flying Marin would be flapping along, just with the same little wings that all those winged items had, just kind of flying along, singing the song, and just fly from right to the left. And that would be your special bonus thing for having cleared the game with 0 deaths. In this one, you get her face while she sings, I guess. So, you know, kind of essentially the same, but meh. Anyways, this has been The Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening. I have been extremely happy to play through this again. I hope everybody has enjoyed as much as I have, and for once, I can legitimately say that I have thoroughly enjoyed myself playing through this again. And, yeah, I obviously would highly recommend this to basically everybody. And I will see everybody in the next game.